Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hayden Croy here with another one for you guys. Let me say, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. We're almost at 500 subscribers, guys. I cannot believe that. I can't believe we ever hit 100. I know I said that this past week's video, but guys, it's true. I can't believe it, and it's all thanks to you guys' support. So if you enjoy these videos, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know any opinions that you guys have or even recommendations. I love to hear them. But in the meantime, let me talk about what we did to this GTI this week. We went on ahead and actually installed some BC Racing coilovers over here. So we did it ourselves. I've never once touched a suspension job in my life. I actually take that back. I thought about trying to install lowering springs in my previous car, got one bolt undone, and I was like, nah, this isn't for me. Put it back in there and took it to a shop. But this time I was like, you know what, let me just try this myself. And guys, it really was not that bad. It probably took me about an hour per wheel if you break it down. I did it over 2 days just simply because of time management. You know, I didn't have time to dedicate 4 hours to it all in one day. So we did it over 2 days, but it was super easy. We did the rears the first day, the fronts the second. And guys, the rears, let me say, is a cakewalk. It's like 3 or 4 bolts, something like that. It is really nothing whatsoever. You can throw those in and out in no time, all right? The fronts, on the other hand, a bit trickier. There is a method that I use that I saw on YouTube, actually from Bryce Jordan Productions, I believe was the channel. And most people, as you guys know, probably, they try and pull out the axle whenever you try and do your coilovers up front. They want to drop the axle to release that knuckle from down low to be able to drop lower, so that way you can actually get your strut out. Rather than doing that and messing with like all 8 or 12 of those bolts or whatever on each side, and rather than having to torque them all back down one by one, what you guys can do is get yourself a 2x4, and as long as your car's on a jack stand and you have a jack available, you can use that 2x4 to actually compress that strut. There's 2 different spots that you can do it in. You can either drill a hole into the 2x4 and put your spreader bolt through into the end link and latch it or attach it into there and use that to jack it up, or you can do what I did, and I actually just used the bottom rest of where the spring is on the top strut or on the front struts. The spring sits into the seat basically, and it's a metal disc around it, and I just put the 2x4 up against that and compressed it there, because personally I tried doing the spreader bolt method where you can drill that, but it was putting the 2x4 at an angle, which whenever you're cocking it up, it was causing it to slip out and it was cracking the board a whole lot. Just didn't make me feel comfortable. So I ended up just putting it directly into the bottom of that spring holder, and it was able to compress directly straight up, which made me feel a lot safer, and it honestly worked way better. Rather than making it all cockeyed, it was kind of making it get stuck in there whenever I did it off the spreader bolt. So definitely I'd recommend just try and get a 2x4 up in there right up against the bottom of where that spring sits in, and you guys can compress it up there, tap the knuckle with a hammer, and it's gonna drop right out. That's enough of me just talking about it. Let me go ahead and show you guys what they look like on the car. All right, you guys, as you can see, we are not super low by any means, guys. We still have a good 4 to 5, I'd say 5, even 6 inches off the ground, to where we're not scraping on anything really. The rears do scrape slightly on the fender. We have the rears as low as possible though. All right, so that's another thing. Like, we just went with the standard BC BR series. We didn't go any upgrades. We didn't do the Swiss springs, or we didn't do the extreme low variant, nothing like that. This is as low as you will be able to sit on the standard BR series, okay? It is plenty low enough in my opinion. And this, I mean, I can fit a finger, I can't get my knuckle in there. So you guys can see that is rather low. There's not really a need to go lower than that unless you just don't really care that much about your function. But nonetheless, the fronts over here, the fronts could go about 2 inches lower, guys, but I did have the fronts all the way compressed whenever I initially put it on the vehicle. It gave the car an intense rake towards the front, so I personally don't like the look of that. It's not a car that's rear-wheel drive drag car. It's not gonna be squatting or anything like that. So I raised up the fronts to mitigate that rake, as well as to give me some more clearance up front. As you guys would have seen in the intro clip, we did a little bit of trimming. We trimmed inside those fenders just to give ourselves a little bit more clearance for some tires. We ordered our new tires. We actually ordered some 265/35 R18s. They are still Federal 595s, but no longer the Super Steels. We went with the RSR compounds. So hopefully those will be a bit more grippy, and we'll have about an inch more in width. So that should help with some grip. Either way, we could technically lower the fronts about another 2 inches. We are not going to. We enjoy not scraping and destroying our brand new beautiful carbon fiber fenders. But as far as the feel of these go, guys, they feel awesome. I am running them with the damping all the way at max at the hardest setting at the moment, just while I still feel it out, just to make sure that I'm not going to destroy anything. I'd rather work my way down than work my way up and have accidentally clapped out a fender or something like that in the first week or so. So we do have our damping all the way at the stiffest setting right now, but guys, it feels so much tighter around corners than the lowering springs did. I was on lowering springs, the iBox Sport line before, and just on those and stock struts, and guys, it looked good. It sat really nice. It gave me the look that I was going for, but it did not ride as well as I would have liked. It was a bit soft, as well as the body would become uneasy on the car coming out of turns. It would take a while for the body to settle back on the suspension. That does not happen with these BR series coilovers. They are nice and tight. You can rip through a corner, feel way safer, way more in control, and whenever you come out of it, your car's just as straight as could be. It's no issue with the body rocking back and forth, and I'm sure it could be even better if I would get my sway bars in. So that's another thing that we have ordered. We went on ahead, placed our order for some upgraded sway bars, and we will be getting those installed here soon to just really try and work on the handling of this vehicle. That's basically going to be it though, guys. There's not a whole lot to talk about with these. Like I said though, going ahead, just tackle it yourself, guys. Give it a shot. I'm no mechanic. I knocked it out in like 4 hours. So I'm sure you guys can do it, and I'm sure you guys are probably a little bit more skilled than I am. If you've been considering getting these BR series coilovers, pull the trigger, guys. It's well worth it. Just keep in mind there is a bit of a wait right now just with everything going on in this world. I had to wait for about 2 months, I want to say, maybe a month and a half on these. I wasn't worried about it. It's kind of just how it is with all car parts right now. If you order a car part, just kind of forget about it and hope that shows up one day, because it sure will, and you might be surprised. It's like Christmas all over again, you know? Either way, that's gonna be it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment down below. If you personally have more experience with coilovers, I don't. I've only ever ran lowering springs. It's the first set of coilovers. If you guys have more experience, please let me know in the comments what you guys would recommend for coilovers. I know that BCBR series is like the entry level, not quite at the bottom of the list, but it is entry level suspension. I know that it can get a lot nicer the higher up that you go, and I know obviously air suspension has its own perks, but we weren't trying to go for anything like that. We're just gonna stick with the static setup, and we're just trying to, you know, stick functional. But nonetheless, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.